would you be if you were a weapon? Everybody ain't connected.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Indy Alexis, and today I wanted to do an updated get to know me video. I feel like I do a bunch of like travel vlogs, regular, everyday vlogs, home content, hauls, and different things like that, but like, who am I? I get a ton of questions like, what do I do for work? Like, what's my ethnicity? How old am I? How did I get in Charlotte? Like, I just want to address all those questions right now. And also kind of just like refilm the first video that I ever filmed for YouTube, which was like a get to know me tag. That was back in 2021 when I was living at home with my parents in New York. Fast forward almost 3 years later in 2024. You know, I feel like I'm a whole different person at this point. So yes, who is Indy Alexis? Let's get into it. So I actually have those questions right here that I answered in my first video ever. I've literally kept the same book. All right, so what's my name? My name is India, but I go by Indy Alexis on YouTube. Growing up, my nickname was Indy. My mom called me Indy. Some people at my church back home called me Indy, and it kind of just like stuck with me. So that's my nickname, and I was like, what's some of my alias for YouTube? So it's Indy, and then my middle name is Alexis, so Indy Alexis. Yeah. Okay, so what's my ethnicity? I feel like I get this question all the time. I am literally just black. I'm not African, I'm not Jamaican, I'm not Haitian, I'm none of the above. I am literally just black. My family was born and raised in South Carolina. If you could put two and two together, you know. Yeah, I'm just black. All right, so where am I from? I am born and raised in Long Island, New York. Love New York down to the ground. Literally love New York so much. I moved from New York to Charlotte, North Carolina in 2021 for work, and I've been here since, so going on 3 years. Whoa, that's crazy. I've been here for 3 years. All my family's still in New York. My extended family is spread out around New York and South Carolina. So yeah, from New York. Probably gonna go back. Okay, how old am I? I am 26 years old. This is crazy coming out my mouth. Like, I can't believe I'm saying I'm 26. Am I approaching 30? Lord. And my birthday is in July, and that means I'm a Cancer. I'm not really big into horoscopes. I don't know anything about Cancers except that we are emotional, and definitely am emotional. All right, so where did I go to school? So like elementary, middle, and high school, obviously all in New York. But then for college, my parents wanted all of my siblings to go to HBCU, so I went to Hampton University in Hampton, Virginia. I majored in business administration, and then I went back in 2019 to get my master's in business administration. Honestly, if you want me to be frank, when I got to school, I didn't even know what I wanted to do at all. So I was like, it's either gonna be business or psychology, and I'm like, I ain't into all that psychology stuff. So I went into business, and I was like, I want to do something in the entrepreneurship realm. I don't know what it is, and I feel like business is well-rounded, so that's why I went into business. My parents put me actually in an entrepreneurship program when I was little, and I did it for a couple of years, where we would actually like write a business plan and then launch our business at a street festival for my church. So yeah, I did that, and that kind of inspired me in like this whole entrepreneurship grind when I was little. So when I went to college, I was like, I want to open up my own business. I don't know what I want to do. I've always been kind of creative in that sense. I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be a fashion designer at one point. I wanted to open up my own hair salon at one point. I just knew I wanted to do something for myself, by myself, you know, in that realm. So that's why I went into business. Another question I get on this channel a ton actually is, what do I do for work? So let's give you the job history rundown. So graduated in 2020 with my master's in business administration. Immediately after that, I started working for a technology company remotely in New York. And then in May of 2021, they required us to come into the office. So that's why I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. A year and a half into that job, I was like, I can't do this anymore. It was basically kind of call center-y, selling things that I really did not care about, frankly. So I was just like, I cannot do this anymore. So yes, after that, I went into another sales role. So fast forward 2 years from those sales jobs that I was grinding through before when I first got to Charlotte. Now I'm an account executive at a technology company. And it's more sales consulting. So businesses come to us wanting to spend money basically, and I just give them out like proposals and contracts on how they can best like optimize our technology to meet their brand goals. So it's like sales and marketing consulting without saying giving away too much. That is what I do. I work fully remote. I love working remotely. Sometimes I feel like the walls are kind of caving in my apartment. Like, I've been in here too long. I need to get some fresh air. But that is 10 times better than commuting to anybody's office. So, love my job right now. What is my favorite food? My favorite food right now, hands down, is all things seafood. I love crab legs, mussels, shrimp. I don't really like oysters and calamari, but all things seafood, that's my favorite food. What's my favorite genre of music? This is so hard. I feel like it's a mixture of R&B, soul, oldies. Is that a genre? I don't know. Afro beats. I love me some Afro beats. Gospel music. Hip hop. Like, I feel like I love a little bit of everything when it comes to genres of music. And who are my favorite artists? This kind of goes to the last question. I love so many different types of music. It's so hard to name like 3 of my favorite artists. But if I had to, I'd say Neo. She's a UK-based R&B and pop singer. Jasmine Sullivan, for obvious reasons. She's absolutely amazing. I have a vinyl of hers in my living room as decoration. And then the last one, that's so hard. It has to be like Beyonce, but then if I have to put a gospel artist in there, I'd say like Fred Hammond. I love me some Fred Hammond. I love Burna Boy. I don't know, but let me just play you guys a Nail song to put you guys on real quick because she's amazing. And if you don't know who she is, now you know. You can't tell me it's gonna go hard. Anywho, yeah, that's my favorite artist. Her name is Nao. If you haven't heard of her, go check her out. You'll be blown away, just like me. Would I call myself introverted or extroverted? So, if you want to know the backstory, I think when I was little, I was very, 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 very anxious. I was always very anxious. I was always like, oh my God, what are these people thinking about me? Oh my God, these people are talking about me behind my back. Like, I was just a very anxious person, so that made me very introverted when I was little. So I think I'm still a little bit introverted now. I would say it's like gotten 10 times better since when I was little, but I'd say I'm still very introverted now. I would call myself now an introverted extrovert. So when you first get to know me, if I feel comfortable around you, I'm gonna talk your head off. Like, literally, I'm gonna talk your head off nonstop. So that's why I would say I'm an introverted extrovert. But if I feel uncomfortable in a situation, I get very introverted and go back into my shell, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Alright, so next question. And now that I'm living in Charlotte, how do I like it? Would I recommend for anyone to move here that's looking to move here? The answer is yes. I think moving away from New York to Charlotte almost 3 years ago was honestly the best decision I could have made in my entire life. The funny thing is, I didn't even know anybody when I got down here. The first 3 months were kind of rough. I was like, I don't know nobody down here. I'm about to be lonely. I literally just went through a breakup 1 month after I moved to Charlotte, so I was by myself. My family was 10 hours away in New York. But moving away to Charlotte gave me so many life experiences I would have not have had if I lived at home with my parents. Like, I learned about friendships, I learned about relationships, I learned about paying bills, I learned about being self-sufficient. I just learned so much about myself. With all the alone time that I had, I learned a lot about myself. Like, definitely moving away in my early 20s to Charlotte was a really good decision. For someone that's looking to move from either like the West Coast or the East Coast, like Northeast or anything like that, I would say Charlotte is a good place to land. There's a ton of young people here. They're building apartments left and right. They're building townhomes and condos. The price of living is definitely increasing because everyone is moving here. There's a ton of things to do. There's a ton of food places, a lot of shopping. Like, and Charlotte is a big melting pot of like people from different backgrounds. You kind of just have to like put yourself out there and meet people, because once you meet somebody, they'll introduce you to somebody else. I feel like I made a ton of videos about this already on my channel, but Charlotte is definitely a good place to be if you're looking to move away from wherever you're at. I also like Charlotte because I met a lot of friends here. I've met a lot of like good girlfriends here. I met my boyfriend here. So I'll probably be here. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be here. I want to experience something new, but I also feel really stable here. I don't know. We'll see. I'm still young. Alright, next question is, why did I start my channel? I started my channel because, like I was saying a little earlier, I've always been a very creative person. When I was younger, I wanted to be an artist at one point because I love to draw. And then I wanted to be a fashion designer because I loved to sew when I was younger. Like, I literally had sewing machines on sewing machines, and I loved to style clothes and different things like that. And then I also wanted to be a hairdresser at one point because I like doing natural hair. So I've always been just a very like creative person trying to like think outside the box. And then I also loved when I was younger as well watching YouTube videos. I think I used to love watching like Natural 85. She used to have like family vlogs and like natural hair content. I was like, I could do that. So when I moved from New York to Charlotte, I was like, I might as well document my journey into young adulthood and just bite the bullet and start the YouTube channel. So that's why I started my YouTube channel in 2021 around like lifestyle content and travel content and just me living my everyday life, and fashion content, all those different type of things. And that's the direction I would love my channel to continue in. And then the last question that I have here is, what kind of some of my goals for 2024 personally? I would say, one, elevate my content. I talked about this in my last video. I really just want to elevate the quality of my content on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, whether that means investing in like equipment and different types of lenses and playing around with lighting and editing softwares. Like, I love, another fun fact about me, I love editing videos, even though it's very time consuming. I love like finding fire remixes on like TikTok and YouTube and like on Instagram when people like mash up things. Like, I love finding those things and like putting them along to my videos. Like, I really love the editing aspect of filming and YouTube. So yeah, I want to elevate my content and start playing around with like different ways to edit the videos and also be more consistent. I feel like I post weekly on YouTube, but sometimes I find myself slipping and be like 2-3 weeks where I haven't posted anything, and I'm like, all right, I gotta get back onto it. And then also be more consistent on TikTok too. I found that I can really be myself on TikTok and YouTube, like talk, make jokes, like it doesn't feel kind of like staged or whatever, kind of like Instagram. So I definitely want to be more consistent on those two platforms too. I also, a lot of goals. I also want to get promoted at work because, yeah. And lastly, another goal I have for 2024 is be the best version of myself inside and out. I feel like that's very like surface level, but when I say like inside, I mean I want to be more whole spiritually. I want to watch what I'm consuming, whether that's on social media and in my body with like food and different things like that, and then be the best version of myself outwardly by, you know, styling clothes, like doing what I love to do. So yeah, honestly, I can go on and on and on and on and literally talk all day, but I'm not going to talk y'all ears off today. So that's a little bit about me. If you have any more questions about me, my transition to Charlotte, my career, my anything that I talked about today, leave those comments below. I love to answer your questions and get to know my audience a little bit better. They get to know me a little bit better, you know. We vibing over here. I definitely want to continue to grow a community of people. I see like the same people comment on my videos all the time. I'm like, oh my god, you really like my videos. So yeah, I want to continue to grow the community over the 3 years that I've been on YouTube and kind of just like rebrand myself going into 2024 with things I talked about a little bit earlier. So this wraps up the video. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel and getting to know me, and I'm gonna catch you guys in my next one. Bye.